name is Twaambo Munjanja and I'm a makeup artist. I have been in this industry now for 12 years under the brand Nikayi Makeup and Beauty. Today you're going to join me as I do a simple everyday look on our model here today to help you with your everyday makeup looks. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to prime the face. It's very important for us to prime the skin before we begin. This step is usually after you've done your skincare routine, you've moisturized, you've applied your sunscreen, and then you can put your primer. Your primer then acts as a base for whatever makeup you're going to put on your face. And you can just take that and apply it with your hands. Today's primer is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer, which has got a little bit of a silicone base in it, which helps to keep the face matte. Okay. And usually that takes a couple of seconds to infuse into the skin, and then we can begin the process. So to begin with, we'll start with the eyebrows. Usually the first step in your routine is your eyebrows. Most people like to start with their foundation, but for today we're going to start with your eyebrows. I always recommend using a dark brown pencil. Right now I'm holding a Princessa pencil. Available. I think we'll give details at the end of the way we can find all the products that I'm using today. But I'll be using a dark brown pencil, just a dark brown core pencil, to draw in her eyebrows. Okay? It's quite a simple process. Always use your natural shape to guide you so that you can get the right shape for your eyes. Okay? So to begin with, we're going to begin right at the base of the eye, at the corner of the eyebrow, and just do a straight line, gently following the shape of her eyebrow. She has a natural arch, which I'm trying to follow as well. Just do a line at the bottom and at the top of the brow, following that natural shape. Like that. Okay? We always make sure that you don't draw your eyebrow too long. Just to check, you can use the pencil to follow the line there from the tip of your nose there to the corner of the eyebrow. Those lines should match up. And then from the tip of the arch to the point of the nose is where you have your arch. That's where your arch will naturally sit. Like that. Okay, and we'll do the same on the other side. Just a little bit about myself as we go through the tutorial. I've always loved makeup. I started liking makeup I think when I was about 6 years old. I would see my mom doing her face and get excited about using her lipsticks and her foundations, and I would sneak into her room to try her products out, and I think that's where my passion for makeup grew from. And that's how even now I think I still behave like a kid in a candy store when I'm in a beauty supply store. So we're just going to take the spoolie brush and comb through the eyebrow hair. If you don't have a spoolie, you can always use an old mascara brush. Just make sure it still doesn't have any product on it. As you can see, the definition of the brow is starting to appear. Okay, so the next step is going to help us bring definition to the brow shape. Okay, to do this we use a concealer such as this one. I think a lot of us have come across this concealer. I think it's everywhere these days. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is a shade lighter than her skin tone, because using a shade lighter than your skin tone to define the brow helps us to give us a more clean appearance of the brow, okay? And it doesn't just blend into her skin, okay? So I'll just take a little bit of the product on an angled brush or a flat brush, if that's what you have handy, and just run it underneath her brow. Take your time with this. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky in terms of balance, but just take your time. If you need to stabilize on a table, do that as you're applying it. So we apply it like so. Same thing on the other side.
So how did you join the makeup industry?
When I came back from studying abroad, or when I finished my undergrad, I actually did a course in makeup artistry. I had a friend of mine who was a makeup artist at the time who invited me to join her on a course. So we went together, did the course, joined her for a few additional classes, and I just fell in love with the art. When I came back to Zambia, a couple of friends of mine were getting married, and that's how, chipped in on their weddings. And before I knew it, I was being called to do weddings for other people who were getting married, and that's how I started doing weddings.
Do you remember your first makeup item?
My first makeup item was lipstick. It was really, really bad, cheap lipstick that a few hours after putting it on, it was like you hadn't put anything at all. So once you've run the concealer or put the concealer underneath the brow, you can do the same at the top. And already that has brought definition to the eyebrow area. Okay? Just blend the excess product downwards. You can use your fingers to just blend any excess product. To avoid any sharp corners like that, just use your brush to just wipe off the edges. And to mimic that natural eyebrow look, usually your eyebrows are a lot thinner at the front and darker towards the end. You can just kind of use the excess concealer that's on the brush, don't put any more on there, and just comb through the brow like that. And just wipe off any excess product. And that should give you a natural brow look. Okay? We'll do the same on the other side.
How do you prepare different skin types before applying makeup? Is there a different primer for different kinds of skin?
Yes. With different skin types, you have to really be aware of the type of skin that you have. I mean, you have very, very different skin types in terms of there's people who have oily skin, normal skin, dry skin, combination skin. A lot of us will be able to tell the difference. Or some of us, if you're like me, your skin changes depending on the weather. So for instance, now we're in hot season, I tend to have oily skin. Whereas in the dry season, in the cold season, my skin tends to go dry. So just be aware of the condition that your skin is in. For instance, if you've got normal skin, so you look for products that are okay for use on normal skin. If you've got dry skin conditions, use products that are usually oil-based, that are friendly for dry skin use. They will help with moisturizing and preventing your skin from drying out completely. Okay? So everything from your primer, even your foundation, just take note of the skin types that the product is friendly for. Okay?
How long does it take to put on a full face of makeup?
can range, it varies. If you're doing it yourself, I think sometimes you get so used to your own face, you can do your own face within 5-10 minutes. Others take 30 minutes, others take an hour. It varies, but the more practice that you have, then the quicker you'll be at completing a full face. So once the eye is done, what a lot of people do is use the concealer to create a primer for the eye. Okay. Alternatively, you can also purchase this product, which is a clean color eyeshadow primer. The difference between this and the concealer is that this product is designed specifically to hold color. So as you put this on the eye, it helps adhere the pigment onto your eyelid, and so it will give you a longer lasting color, and it will make the pigment a little bit more pronounced than if you put it directly onto your skin or onto a concealer. Okay. It's failing to open. It's not opening. Let me just crack it open. There we go. Do this all the time. No, I haven't. So I'm just going to apply the eyeshadow primer using a brush. As you can see, it's a little white color. It will also mattify the area. Like that. If you don't have an eyeshadow primer, please go ahead and use your concealer to just prepare the eye.
What cosmetic product could you never live without?
Ooh, my eyebrow pencil. The first thing I think of doing every morning is putting on my eyebrows. I feel like once my eyebrows are on, then I'm ready to go, I'm dressed. So even if I'm wearing no makeup, I'll at least do my eyebrows. Yeah.
And what's your most cherished beauty product of everything that you do?
My most cherished makeup product has got to be my Juvia's palette. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but it's very pigmented. The colors are fun, they're vibrant, and they always look good on camera. So it was definitely worth spending that extra cash on it. This is one of them. This is a Juvia palette. This is the Juvia palette, just there. For today's look, we're going for something very simple and natural. Normally when you're doing an everyday look, you don't want to do something that is too glamorous or too, what should I say, party-like. You want to do something that's a little bit more demure, a little bit more serious, especially if you're going to work or you're going about doing your business, for the entrepreneurs out there. So I'm going to use very subtle neutral colors on the eyes. So to begin with, we'll start with a transition color. In this case, I will be using an orange pigment as a transition color.
What type of product do you buy the most of?
Probably mascara. I do go through quite a lot of mascara. Mascara dries quite quickly, so I do buy a lot of it quite frequently. But yeah, I use a lot of mascara.
And do you have a set makeup budget, or do you buy when you see something?
For myself, for personal use, I do have a set makeup budget. I tend to break it all the time because every time something new comes out, I want to try it. But for the business, I tend to have a set makeup budget in terms of spending, because I have to obviously strike a balance between how much product I'm holding at any one point. So yeah. On my model, I'm just going to add a little bit of the brown pigment onto her eyelid. This is like a light brown. Just patting on with a brush, with a flat brush, a little bit of the brown pigment on her skin tone. So I'm just going to teach you to look, it's a little bit on the darker side, so it's like a medium brown onto the eyelid. The eyelid being this part underneath the crease of your eye. You can go in with your mascara. Don't worry about having any excess pigment. If any excess pigment has fallen onto the skin, you can always wipe it off. And besides, you can always apply your foundation over it, and then you won't see it. Then we'll go in there with the mascara. I'm using the Nikayi volume mascara, volume and extension. A good mascara is a good trick. Others like at this point to put eyeliner on their faces. Feel free to do that. You can put on an eyeliner on the eye, or you can just go in with a mascara. Just open your eyes slightly for me. Just comb through the individual hairs. Mascara can be applied in stages. You can put a first layer of mascara on, and then you wait for it to dry, and then you can later on come back and comb through it again, comb through your eyelashes again, and that will give you a bit more volume and a bit more length. You can put on as many layers as you feel comfortable with. I tend to go for 2 or 3 depending. So at the moment we have very nice definition to the eyelashes. Okay. At this point now we're going to apply the foundation. Just make sure that at this point you've already applied your face primer, because this is what is going to help your foundation last all day. A lot of the time we apply foundation and we find halfway through the day it's like we have to reapply, or there's nothing left on the skin. Usually using a good primer like we did before is what keeps the foundation on the face. One of the foundations that we'll be using today is the LA Truly Matte in Cappuccino for her shade. Okay. And then I'll be using a beauty blender. Again, also these are available at Glam K's. The first thing you need to know about a beauty blender, to activate it, to use it, make sure you wet it first. Just soak it in some water or pour some water on it, and that's when you get the squishiness to it. This is what will help you in terms of applying the foundation. Let's go in. Make sure you come all the way in between your nose. Those are areas that we forget, above the lip, and also the chin. Okay, just to make sure that you're blending all the way. For problematic skin, there's 2 ways to handle it. If you have any pigments or blemishes that you want to conceal, it's better to put your concealer on underneath the foundation. So you'd apply the concealer and let it set, let it dry. You can put some powder on it as well, which helps it to dry. and then you can put your foundation on top of it, and that will conceal any marks or discolorations. The other alternative is to use the orange concealer for dark spots. In areas where you've got dark spots or high pigmentation, you can use an orange concealer on this area. Once that dries, then you put the foundation on top of the concealer. In terms of redness, you can use a green concealer. The green concealer, basically the reason why we use color correcting concealers is so that when you put the foundation on top of it, the color of the pigment of the discoloration or the blemish does not come through the foundation. So it corrects underneath the foundation. Okay. So her foundation is applied, and I did so using a beauty blender. Okay. This also helps you get a very natural appearance, and it looks like skin. You can also use a brush, a flat brush, or so you can either use a flat brush, which is great for products like that, or you can use a foundation brush like that. Okay, and you can just use that to apply the foundation to the skin. Okay. The next step at this point, for most people, is the powder. Okay, the powder is what to make sure that the foundation sets onto the skin. Don't skip this step. This is vital. Again, we're trying to make sure that our look lasts through the day. So important is the primer, followed by the foundation, and then the powder to set it. Powder can't substitute setting spray. The powder's job is to make sure that the makeup sets onto the skin. Okay, the setting spray just makes sure that yes, the makeup does last. Yeah, so it just holds everything in place. Okay, so you can't skip the step. So you just go in with your powder. Okay, you might want to move around also with your powder as well. For those who have oily skin, the oil might come through the skin at some point in the day, and then you can retouch using the powder. Okay, contouring and highlighting. So that's when you're doing more complex like makeup, not really an everyday look, but for some people, if you have the time, why not? Okay, so just to add a bit of color to her cheeks, we're going to use a blush. We're just going to add it to her cheekbones. Then the best way to apply it is to suck in your face. So suck in your cheekbones like that, make fish face. And then it exposes your cheekbones, and you can apply it to your cheekbones like that. And that just adds a bit more color. Okay? Same thing on the other side. This is the same trick that you use if you're applying a bronzer to the face as well. Okay? For a more glammed up look, you might want to add your contouring and highlighting. The contouring and highlighting process adds more dimension and shape to the face. People use it also to give the appearance of a slimmer, more defined face or more defined features. So you'd use the dark pigment or the dark concealer to add shadow in the cheekbones. There. Okay? And then you'd use the highlighter or the lighter shade of concealer, similar to the one we used for her brows, underneath her eyes, her forehead, her nose, and her chin, just to mimic where the light falls on her face. Okay? And you can even go in with the darker shade of foundation to the bridge of the nose, either side of the bridge of the nose. You can go in also on the chin to define the chin a little bit more, give the appearance of a smoother, smaller face. Okay? Okay. Once you've applied your powder and your blush, if you so wish, some people might like to put a highlighter on. At this point, that's where you put it onto your cheekbones. We will define the lip with a pencil. Either use a brown. This just gives definition to the lip area. Okay? You can use a brown, or maybe if you want to match the lipstick that you're using, you can use a red, a mulberry, whatever color takes your fancy. But because we're going for a nude, natural look, we'll go in with the brown. Just going to define her lip. So we'll go in with the lip color. We've selected a nice nude in keeping with our natural look. This should also blend with the pencil.
How do you choose the perfect lip color?
There's only one way to do that. Try it. There's always, these days, you normally get samples. Like right now we're in Glam K's. They offer samples for the different colors that they use. There's no hard and fast rule. You just have to try it on. See, like that's like a nude color, which isn't too bright. It doesn't scream. She can go to the office looking like this and not offend anybody. Again, with the nudes, I mean, like the different shades, we all have different skin tones. So what might look good on her might not look good on me being darker than she is. But the only way is to try it. At this point, you are done with your look. I'll add one more thing. At this point, most people are ready to go to work. But if you just want that extra support, you want to add some extra hold to your face, we just spray her face with a fixing spray. At this point, I am using the Kat Von D Locket, okay, spray to just lock in the look. And this should last her the entire day. She'll probably need to do a touch-up if she wants to go out for drinks after work or meet some friends, but otherwise she's set for the day. And that's it. Okay, so at the end of the day, when you're ready to take off your makeup, there's several solutions that you have available to you in order to help you get rid of the day's makeup. Number one, the first step I usually follow at home is using some wet wipes to just wipe my skin to remove any excess product from my skin. For those of you who are sensitive to wet wipes, try and find one for sensitive skin. Usually baby wipes for sensitive skin usually help, but they do contain aloe vera in them. So if you're allergic to aloe vera, the alternative would be the use of something as gentle as coconut oil. Just apply some on a swab and just wipe off the makeup. Alternatively, you can also use baby oil as well. Apply it to the face and then wipe off using a cotton swab. Okay, so once you've removed your makeup, then you can fall into your normal skincare routine. It's very important to ensure that you remove all the makeup that you've applied before you sleep. So first step, take off the makeup with a wipe, then go in with a cleanser. Wash your face with a cleanser to remove any excess skin, any makeup that is trapped within the skin, followed by your normal serums and your toner and then your serum. And then you can moisturize and put any oils for your skin. It's important to maintain your skin and to ensure that the quality of the skin is looked after, because using a lot of makeup does tend to affect your skin. As well, I would advise you to continue drinking loads of water, minimum of 2 liters of water a day. It helps with the skin and removing toxins in your system, because a healthy body means vibrant skin. I would also advise that you wear a sunscreen every day. I know it's a controversial topic for ethnic skin tones, but sunscreen is essential in protecting your skin. It will also help reduce in terms of pigmentation as you grow older. Okay. In terms of removing or cleaning your brushes, it's very important to clean your brushes. One thing that we're not in the habit of is making sure our tools are hygienic. Especially if you've got sensitive skin, it's important to do this step at least once a week or once every 2 weeks to ensure that you're not using any products that have overstayed on your tools and started to breed bacteria on your brushes and your bristles. So it's important to go in, spend some time cleaning your brushes. What I normally do is I use a brush cleanser. If you can't afford to use a brush. What I use is a brush cleanser. If you can't afford to use a brush cleanser, there's other solutions like baby shampoo. Just pour a bead of baby shampoo into the palm of your hand. You wet your brush and then you rub it in the palm of your hand in a circular motion like so. As you do that, you start to notice that the shampoo goes brown or green depending on what product's on your brush. Rinse it off and repeat the process until the brush runs clear. Okay, once the brush is wet, just reshape it once it's clean and dry it flat this way. Okay, take a towel, lay it flat so that the excess water doesn't go back into your brush, and loosen your brush handle. Alternatively, if you have somewhere you can hang them this way upright, and you can stack them, just hang them upright this way, upright that way, so that the water drips in the opposite direction. Okay, and that's how to quickly cleanse your brushes. Same thing for your beauty blenders. I know a lot of us have been keeping beauty blenders in our makeup bag and so on. Take them out, wash them once a week or once every 2 weeks, rinse them out, and dry them on a flat surface as well. Okay, any other questions?
Where are you from? How can people find you?
Okay, all right. Where do I start? Okay, all the products I've used today are available at Glam Case. We've just opened a new store at Lawanika Mall in Woodlands. There's another one in Northmead at Blessings Mall. So if you want any of your beauty products, feel free to visit any of the stores, and all the assistants will gladly help you find the right shade of foundation, the right concealer to use, and so on and so forth. If you need to reach me, I am available as well. You can visit my Facebook page or my Instagram, and it's at Nikayi Makeup. Or if you find me on Facebook, it's Nikayi Makeup and Beauty, and my contact number is 0967 990 955. For any queries, please feel free to contact me. I do everything from bridal makeup, photo shoots, film, editorial, special effects, and the like. So we do a wide range of makeup and hair solutions. So give us a call and we'll gladly help you. We hope you found this tutorial quite simple and easy to replicate in your everyday.